So now, ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister of the Republic of Korea, His Excellency Mr. Kim Min-seok, and our esteemed overseas guests are now making their entrance. Please welcome them with a big round of applause. Good afternoon, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the opening ceremony of 2025 World Climate Industry EXPO. This is an announcer, Moon Sori. It is my great pleasure to be your MC today. And this gathering is more than just an exhibition. It is a place to share vision, to embrace the innovation, and to act together in response to the climate crisis. The steps we take here, the voices we raise, and the partnership we build will help drive a more sustainable future for generations to come. With that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, with a big round of applause, I'm honored to declare the official opening of the 2025 World Climate Industry EXPO. And this image reflects not only today's gathering, but also the spirit of partnership that drives the future of the climate industry. Thank you once again. The climate crisis can't be solved by the technology alone, as you're well aware. And it will take a vision, bold new infrastructure, and strengthened connections that bring nations together across the globe. So this is the very spirit of the 2025 World Climate Industry EXPO. To begin our journey together, so now, ladies and gentlemen, let us watch our opening video.
Today, climate action has the power to drive new industries and economic growth. By combining clean energy and AI, we can reduce carbon emissions while creating more jobs, expanding markets, and strengthening our competitive edge.
기후위기 대응이라는 세계적 흐름에 따라 재생에너지 중심 사회로 조속히 전환해 가겠습니다. 촘촘한 에너지 고속도로 건설로 전국 어디서나 누구나 재생에너지를 생산할 수 있게 해서 소멸 위기의 지방을 다시 살려갈 것입니다.
The synergy between clean energy and AI is fueling a new energy revolution that goes beyond traditional energy systems. The growth of AI is only possible with a foundation of sustainable energy infrastructure. Clean energy is becoming the essential backbone of the AI era. AI makes clean energy smarter. AI is transforming renewable energy, making it more reliable, affordable. It predicts the flow of energy, stores it, and sends it exactly where and when it's needed. What was once an unpredictable natural energy source is now one of the most reliable. Global efforts are being realized through technologies and innovation. In this new era of electricity, we're discovering opportunities for future generations through AI and clean energy. Energy for AI, AI for Energy. 2025 World Climate Industry EXPO.
Let's give a big round of applause, celebrating vision, the hope, and the determination we all share for the sustainable future. Thank you. Thank you very much. This expo brings together companies, governments, and research institutes from around the world, offering a clear direction on climate action and presenting practical solutions that we can put into practice. To mark the official opening of the 2025 World Climate Industry EXPO, we are deeply honored to be joined by the Prime Minister of the Republic of Korea. In his opening address, he will share the government's strategy for responding to climate change and the importance of this gathering. Most of all, he will present a vision of how national efforts combined with global cooperation and industrial innovation can help shape the sustainable future we all hope to build. So now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Prime Minister of the Republic of Korea, His Excellency Mr. Kim Min-seok, to the stage with a big round of applause.
안녕하십니까? 국무총리 김민석입니다. 그린 스마트 도시로 도약하는 부산에서 2025 기후산업국제박람회의 막이 오른 것을 축하드립니다. 이번 주는 에이펙 아시아태평양 경제협력체, 청정에너지, 미션 이노베이션 등 3개의 에너지 장관 회의가 함께 열리는 에너지 슈퍼 위크입니다. 에너지 장관님들을 비롯한 전 세계 40여 개국의 정부 대표단, 국제기구 관계자, 주한 외교사절, 기업인 등이 참석해 글로벌 에너지 전환을 위한 대장정을 펼칩니다. 함께 하시는 모든 분들께 감사드립니다. 지금 세계는 탄소 중립과 안정적인 전력 공급을 동시에 이뤄내기 위해 도전 중입니다. 국제에너지 공급망 불안정으로 세계 경제의 위기감이 높아졌고 날로 심각해지는 기후 변화는 에너지 패러다임의 대전환을 요구합니다. 이 문제의 해결에 기후 산업의 역할이 매우 큽니다. 대한민국 새 정부는 국가에너지 대전환 프로젝트를 시작했습니다. 에너지 고속도로를 구축하고 전력망 확충과 재생에너지 중심으로의 에너지 전환에 앞장서고 있습니다. 이를 통해 탄소 중립 실현과 에너지 안보 강화, 경제 성장을 함께 이룰 것입니다. 기후테크 신산업을 적극 육성하고 AI에 기반한 분산 에너지 확산을 통해 전력망의 안전성과 효율성을 높이겠습니다. 각종 규제와 제도를 혁신해 지속 가능한 미래를 열겠습니다. 국제사회가 함께 공유할 수 있는 열린 협력 모델을 발전시키겠습니다. 이번 박람회에 국내외의 540여 개 기업이 참여해 최신 기술과 혁신의 해법을 공유합니다. 기후위기 대응과 에너지 전환을 위한 글로벌 연대와 협력의 무대입니다. 박람회 주제가 Energy for AI, AI for Energy입니다. 인공지능 발전에는 안정적인 에너지 전환이 필요하고 에너지 혁신에는 인공지능 기술이 필수입니다. 에너지와 인공지능 두 축의 융합은 기후에너지 위기 극복을 위한 돌파구가 될 것입니다. 이번 박람회를 통해 실질적인 해결책들이 제시되고 전 세계로 확산되기를 기대합니다. 존경하는 내외 귀빈 여러분, 기후와 에너지 문제는 개별 국가가 홀로 해결할 수 없습니다. 함께 풀어야 합니다. 대한민국은 AI와 에너지가 이끄는 지속 가능한 미래를 향해 전 세계와 적극적으로 협력하며 나아가겠습니다. 여러분의 지혜와 열정이 인류 공동의 과제를 해결하는 큰 힘이 되기를 기대합니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister, to take your step to attend this opening ceremony to deliver such a remarkable message. Thank you very much once again. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll hear the welcoming remarks from the Mayor of Busan Metropolitan City. Busan, our host city, is at the forefront of climate action and is leading efforts in global cooperation. Please welcome the Mayor of Busan Metropolitan City, Mr. Park Hyung-jung, with a big hand.
2025년 기후산업국제박람회에 함께해 주신 내외 기빈 여러분들을 진심으로 환영합니다. 뜻깊은 박람회를 부산에서 개최할 수 있도록 지원해 주시고 바쁜 일정 속에서도 참여해 주신 김민석 국무총리님과 김민석 국무총리님께 특별히 감사의 말씀을 드리고 각 부처 장차관님을 비롯한 우리 정부에 먼저 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 또한 특별히 오늘 기조연설을 해주실 파티 비롤 IEA 사무총장님, 미셸 페트론 마이크로소프트 ECS 정책총괄님, 기후산업국제박람회를 더욱 빛내주신 마누엘라 페로 월드뱅크 부총재님을 비롯한 전 세계 기후에너지 분야 전문가 여러분, 세계 각국 기후정책 관련 고위급 인사 여러분, 국내외 기업인 여러분께 부산 시민을 대신해서 깊은 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 지난 2년간 부산에서 개최된 기후산업국제박람회는 대한민국 범부처와 민간이 공동으로 참여하고 국내외 전문가와 기업이 대거 참여하는 글로벌 행사로 개최돼 큰 성과를 거두어 왔습니다. 그 성과에 힘입어 올해는 국제에너지기구와 함께 세계은행이 공동 개최하는 글로벌 행사로 더욱 성대하게 준비되었습니다. 더구나 올해는 APEC, CEM, MI 등 세계 3대 에너지 장관 회의까지 동시에 열리는 에너지 슈퍼위크로 확대되어 전 세계 기후 에너지 리더십이 지금 이 순간 바로 부산에 결집되고 있습니다. 이렇게 규모가 크고 뜻깊은 행사를 부산에서 개최하는 이유는 분명하다고 생각합니다. 부산은 2050년까지 탄소 중립 선도도시가 되기 위해서 그 목표를 대내외에 천명하고 에너지, 산업, 교통, 인프라, 시민 생활에 이르기까지 도시 전 분야에서 탄소 중립을 향해 빠르게 나아가고 있는 대한민국 대표 기후산업 도시입니다. 특히 세계 2위 환적함과 앞서가는 조선 해양 플랜트 기술을 기반으로 친환경 해운과 해양 에너지 산업 혁신을 선도하면서 글로벌 해양 거점 도시로 도약하고 있습니다. 이번 박람회를 계기로 부산과 함께 미래를 준비해 주시기 바랍니다. 여러분의 기술과 경험이 새로운 시장과 기회로 확장될 수 있도록 부산이 든든한 플랫폼이 되어줄 것입니다. 부산은 또한 천혜의 자연과 다채로운 문화가 어우러진 매력적인 도시입니다. 뉴욕타임스가 세계 5대 해변 도시로 꼽은 도시이기도 하고 미슐랭 리스트로 선정된 식당들이 여러분을 기다리고 있습니다. 이번 박람회 기간 동안 부산의 매력을 직접 느껴보시길 바랍니다. 여러분 모두 많은 성과 거두시길 바라면서 2025년 기후산업국제박람회에 오신 여러분을 다시 한번 진심으로 환영합니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you, the Mayor, for your warm-hearted hospitality and for your whole support to hold this auspicious event here in beautiful city, Busan. Thank you very much once again. The climate crisis is a challenge that crosses every border. In this moment, when global cooperation is essential, we are privileged to be joined by Ms. Manula Vivero, Vice President of the World Bank. She has been at the forefront of the leading global partnerships for sustainable industry and climate actions, bringing nations and institutions together to drive a meaningful change. Please welcome her with a big round of applause.
Good morning, Your Excellency Prime Minister Kim, honorable ministers, Mr. Mayor. It is a real pleasure to be with you this morning in this beautiful and dynamic city of Busan for the opening of the World Climate Industry EXPO. On behalf of the World Bank, I want to warmly congratulate and really commend the Republic of Korea for hosting this very important gathering of policymakers and industry leaders. The world knows Korea as a hub of technological excellence, but Korea is also a leading shareholder, global leader, and partner of the World Bank Group for decades now. And together we have advanced sustainable infrastructure, strengthened climate resilience, and supported the energy access and transition across East Asia and the Pacific. This collaboration, backed by Korea's deep expertise and commitment, has delivered tangible outcomes in countries across this region. This partnership now includes support for energy transition and access throughout the region of East Asia and Pacific, but the partnership with the World Bank is actually broader. For example, far away in the Solomon Islands, Korea is contributing expertise and innovation for developing hydropower in managing very sensitive biodiversity areas. And together with the World Bank, Korea Exim Bank provided project financing that attract Korean private sector investment for renewable energy. Now, Asia and the Pacific now encounter a defining challenge. Electricity demand is set to more than double by 2035, and increasing needs to power industries to electrify transport, data centers, and AI applications. Meeting this demand sustainably will require unprecedented investments, sound policies, and intertwined public and private partnerships. And Korea knows well how these partnerships can be made to work. It also means modernizing and expansion transmission networks, integrating diverse energy sources, and harness digital technology. We recently estimated that cumulative investments required to decarbonize East Asia alone will take about 10 trillion through mid-century by 2050. These opportunities, and indeed the track record of Korea, bode well for Korea's partnership in this effort. With this innovation, resources, and ambition, Korea and this partnership can lead the global energy transition and digital transformation, delivering energy that is affordable, that is secure, that is low carbon, and that is able to drive productivity and create jobs for young people in Asia. At the World Bank, we're very committed to supporting strategic national and regional investments. We're providing countries with more energy options across 3 areas. One is optimizing electricity grids through digital solutions and cross-border trade. We're expanding supply with renewables and natural gas where appropriate. We are re-entering the nuclear energy space in partnership with IAEA. And we're helping countries reduce emissions by retrofitting, repurposing, and retiring coal plants. Specifically, let me also mention 2 important initiatives led by the World Bank Group in Sub-Saharan Africa and right here in the East Asian Pacific regions. First, we have launched an initiative called Mission 300 to connect 300 million people in Africa to sustainable electricity by 2030. And we all agree that this is going to be a big source of growth and innovation and job creation in Africa. And East Asia, we launched a program of $2.5 billion initially to accelerate energy transition, which is helping countries build low-carbon, modern power systems that promote also regional power trade within ASEAN. And we're doing this in partnership with ASEAN and also with our colleagues at the Asian Development Bank. We know this is not just about financing, and we know that regional cooperation is going to be essential. And so we are keen to use the platform that APEC, the World Bank, ASEAN, the Asian Development Bank provide to enhance this regional cooperation. We can achieve more together. We believe that the energy transition and meeting the increased demand is going to be essential to power the next decades of vibrant growth in this region, and we believe that Korea can play a leading role in this effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vice President, to share the significance of our gathering with a remarkable and outstanding message. Thank you very much once again. Yes, as Prime Minister mentioned earlier, the climate change is not just the challenge of one nation or one industry. It is a global challenge that calls just for all of us to work together. So for the keynote speech, to share the vision under this global effort and the way forward, we are honored, joined by Dr. Fatih Birol, Executive Director of the International Energy Agency, has been a leading voice in shaping international energy policy and guiding cooperation for the sustainable future. So now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Fatih Birol with a big round of applause to the stage.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much for your excellent speech to set the framework for this very meeting, and congratulations to you and your government for bringing so many governments, businesses, and thought leaders around the world and organizing this Super Energy Week. Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for bringing us together again, once again, to beautiful city of Busan. Ministers, distinguished guests, dear colleagues, this is the second time that the IEA and the Korean government come together and organize this very important meeting of the World Climate Industry EXPO. We are honored. Dear colleagues, when we look at the global energy picture, which IEA does on a daily basis, we see that the clean energy technologies that help us to address the climate change is growing very strongly. I want to give you a few numbers. Electric cars, a big discussion around the world. Today, in the entire world, when we look at the global car sales, more than 1/4 of the cars sold in the world are electric. More than 20 million cars this year we expect. 10 years ago, it was only hundreds of thousands, and now 20 million cars sold are electric, 1 out of 4, if not more. And it is going even stronger. Renewable energy. Mr. Prime Minister, talk about renewable energy. Dear colleagues, at the IEA, we look at every single power plant built in the world. When we look at all of them in the entire world, last year, more than 80% of all power plants built in the world were renewables, more than 80%. About 5–6% nuclear, and the rest gas and coal. Renewables, not only because it is helping to address the climate challenge, as the speakers have underlined, but also it is economic and easy to build. We see the cost of battery storage going down very sharp, which is very important for the energy sector, and Korea plays an important role here in terms of battery storage. Now, in the context of this, I would like to offer you a perspective of the IEA, and we believe, dear colleagues, we believe we use a lot of oil and gas today, and we will use also in the future, but the world is entering the age of electricity. Electricity consumption will skyrocket in the next years to come, much faster than in the past few years. Why it is happening? Why electricity consumption is growing so strongly across the world? There are three reasons, additional reasons. One, some of you may think it is trivial, but it is the main reason that the air conditioners in Korea today, 90% of the households have an air conditioner. But in India, it is less than 20%. Nigeria, 5%. Indonesia, 18%. And with the increasing temperatures, people buy air conditioners to have a livable life. And this is a major driver of electricity demand surge around the world. The second reason is electric cars. I mentioned to you, they are growing very strongly. And the third reason is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence means data centers, and data centers mean electricity. There is no AI without energy, full stop. If you want to see AI to grow, you have to have energy, better said, electricity. So these are the three reasons why we see entering the age of electricity, and we will need a lot of electricity. Now, we have many challenges for the age of electricity, but one of them is very important. And for me, it is the most important challenge in front of the electricity age in the countries. It is not to build new power plants, the main challenge. The main challenge is the grids, to bring electricity from the power plant to the households, to the industry, to other places. The world is lacking the grids. And Mr. Prime Minister, I want to congratulate your government for putting the energy highway as a key priority. It has been, ladies and gentlemen, a blind spot of many governments around the world. We are building power plants, but we forget to build the grids. There is a major problem. And in my view, this is a huge obstacle in many countries, and thank you very much to Korea and other countries paying attention to build grids and making the grids even better. Let me turn to the AI and energy. Dear colleagues, we have colleagues here like Michel Patron and the others. They know that the IEA has started this work, pioneered this work almost 2 years ago, and we came up with a study on AI and energy. So, there are two issues with AI and energy. One, for AI, you need electricity. And you need electricity 24/7. 24/7. Because these data centers are electricity hungry. Just to put you in a context, a medium-sized data center, not even a huge one, medium-sized data center needs electricity as much as 100,000 households. And data centers are mushrooming, and I believe the countries who have electricity already available, are a few steps in front of the others in terms of the AI race. Because AI race is going to, in my view, determine the global economy, how it is going to be reshaped among the countries. And there are two things here, technology and electricity. So therefore, this is the most important, in my view, in the AI race, if we have enough electricity. If you want to build a data center, it requires 2 years on average. But to get the electricity from the grids, power generation, to make the linkages, gets about 8 years. Data center is ready, but electricity is not there. So therefore, we have to address this very issue. And I believe the countries in North America, in Asia, in Middle East are racing to be in front of the others, both in terms of improving the technology, but also improving the availability of electricity for those data centers around the world. The second issue, dear colleagues, with the AI is the how AI can help the energy sector. Because up to now, we talk, the energy sector that I am in, they think AI is a problem for them. How are they going to provide this electricity to the data centers and AI? But there is another issue. AI can help the energy sector to solve some of the problems. For example, I mentioned the grids. So today in the world, we are not, in most countries, if not all, using our grids with the maximum capacity. Grids can help us in order to increase the utilization. The AI can help us in order to maximize the utilization rate of the grids by optimization. This can be very helpful. Or AI can help us for the battery chemistry in order to accelerate the innovation there. So we have decided at the IEA, while the issue of the how much electricity AI will need is very much discussed, and there's a lot of data, as we have put and others have put, it is not yet well understood how the AI can help the energy sector to address some of the problems. We are going to come up in the first quarter next year as a major report, the role of AI in order to support the energy sector in different areas. Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to finish my remarks by summarizing the very issue that today in the world, there is a big race among the major economic powers in terms of being a leader for AI, artificial intelligence. It will determine the destiny of the economic restructuring of the world. And here, energy sector will play a very important role. Countries who are able to harmonize the developments on the AI and the developments on the energy sector will be a few steps in front of the others. Therefore, I finish by saying that there is no AI without energy, but AI can also help the energy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Executive Director. We are deeply grateful for your inspiring words, which makes us reflect on what is most important in this age of technological transformation. Thank you very much. Korea promises to work hand in hand for the progress of the climate industry. And that commitment in mind, let's now capture this precious moment alongside with our Prime Minister. Thank you very much once again for your remarkable speech. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've been deeply honored by the presence of the Prime Minister at today's opening, but he'll be leaving us at this time due to the important government duties. Please, with a big round of applause, stand up him. Thank you very much once again for sharing your valuable time. Thank you. And finally, we turn to the Microsoft, a company at the forefront of innovation and sustainable energy solutions in response to the climate crisis. This afternoon, we'll hear about their climate strategy and energy initiatives and how their vision can inspire us moving forward. So now, ladies and gentlemen, for the next, please join me in welcoming Ms. Michelle Patron, Senior Director of Energy and Sustainability Policy at Microsoft, with a warm round of applause to the stage.
Good afternoon. Let me begin by thanking Prime Minister Kim Min-suk for your leadership and welcoming us to South Korea, to Mayor Park for hosting us in this beautiful city, to Dr. Birol and the International Energy Agency for the important contributions that you are making to understanding energy. It's an honor to be here with leaders from government, industry, and civil society at a time when two powerful forces are reshaping our future: the rise of artificial intelligence and the transformation of our energy systems. AI is opening up unprecedented opportunities, driving economic growth, boosting productivity, and helping us tackle some of the toughest challenges. At the same time, energy is at the forefront in the heart of everything, from local livelihoods to innovation, industrial growth, and environmental action. Around the world, as we heard, countries are focused on building and modernizing their energy systems. And across regions, we see three common goals. First, speeding up the deployment of carbon-free electricity. Second, modernizing infrastructure to support reliable and resilient growth. And third, unlocking innovation to accelerate the clean energy build-out. And at Microsoft, we see this from both sides. We're a major energy customer and consumer, building and powering one of the world's largest digital infrastructures. And we're also a technology provider. We're developing the tools, the platforms, the capabilities that can help governments, companies, and communities decarbonize far beyond our own footprint. So today I want to focus on three key questions we are facing. First, how can we build out digital infrastructure in a sustainable way? Technology is changing how we build, operate, and sustain vital infrastructure. The data centers that power the economy and modern computing require energy, they require water, they require a wide range of materials. And so for Microsoft, that means focusing our work and our leadership in three core areas: carbon-free energy, water stewardship, and circularity of materials. Let's start with energy. We heard about the growing energy needs of data centers. That means we have an opportunity to add more clean energy to the grid. And at Microsoft, we've signed power purchasing agreements for over 34 gigawatts of renewable energy. That's in 24 countries around the world, including across Asia. To put that in perspective, that's agreements for 135 solar, wind, geothermal, hydro, nuclear, and battery projects that add electricity to the local grids where we operate. On water, we are working to be water positive by 2030. What that means is replenishing more water than we use. The first stage is reducing our water use. And so, for example, in the United States, our next generation of data centers in Arizona and Wisconsin will use zero water for cooling. They will have liquid cooling that goes directly to the chip rather than having to cool the entire building. And here in Korea, earlier this week, we just announced a new partnership with K-Water to create a wetlands that will restore water resources equal to the daily needs of 1 million people. So that's the replenishment piece. And on materials, we are rethinking how we use and reuse them. Alongside our data centers, in certain locations in the US, Europe, and Asia, we've built circularity centers. So that allows us to take decommissioned servers for reuse, resale, and donation. As a result, last year, we were able to hit a recycling and reuse rate of 90.9%. We're also investing in solutions to recycle rare earth magnets for hard drives. But it's not just about these projects, it's also really about focusing on efficiency. And to give you a sense of scale, between 2010 and 2020, the workloads in our data center grew ninefold, 900%. But our power use only rose 10%. And that's the kind of innovation needed as we scale cloud and AI services. And right here in Busan, our data centers that serve Korean customers were designed from the ground up to optimize energy and water use. They meet league load standards, they minimize mechanical cooling. That shows how infrastructure can both support innovation and sustainability. This brings me to the second question, which is how can AI accelerate the clean energy build-out? The IEA has found that when deployed effectively, AI can reduce emissions 3 times more. I'm going to say that again because it's so profound, 3 times more than the direct emissions and the indirect emissions from the data centers that power it. To accomplish this, we see 3 game-changing capabilities of AI. The first is to measure, predict, and optimize complex systems. One such system is transmission. So for example, Line Vision, which is a company that the Microsoft Climate Innovation Fund has invested in, it uses AI to boost transmission by finding unused corridors to send electricity. In the UK, this has helped boost transmission capacity by 600 megawatts, which was enough to allow a new large offshore wind project to come online without building new transmission. The second game-changing capability is in speeding up innovation. Research that used to take years, sometimes decades, now takes months, which will help us advance technologies like hydrogen storage, advanced batteries, and carbon removal. And third, and most importantly, AI empowers people. It helps us turn complex data into actionable strategies. One example related to energy work is permitting. It's a critical bottleneck faced in every country and almost across every part of the energy system. And we're working with partners around the world to use generative AI to streamline permitting so that it takes less time for people to put the application together, for people to review the paperwork, so that we can cut costs and timelines and bring these new energy projects online. So this brings me to my third question. How do we move faster? At Microsoft, we're partnering with governments, utilities, our suppliers, innovators, and communities to focus on 3 key areas. First, expand grid infrastructure. Grid bottlenecks are a major risk to both digital growth and decarbonization. Governments can fast-track permitting, improve interconnection timelines, and even use digital tools to make better use of existing assets. Second, enable clean energy deployment and access. Rising electricity demands means we need to scale clean energy faster, accelerate permitting for clean energy projects, and invest in solutions that reach everyone. And third, we need to use AI to drive innovation. AI helps us build and operate clean, efficient, and resilient systems. It enables smarter resource use and breakthroughs in both carbon-free energy and conservation. So in conclusion, the dual transformation in AI and in energy is underway. If we align innovation, investment, and policy, we can accelerate decarbonization, cut costs, expand access, and build resilience. The fact of the matter is, this isn't just about infrastructure and technology. It's about our communities. And it's about shaping a clean, inclusive, and resilient energy future at the speed and the scale that our communities and our economies require. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are reminded again that this is pivotal moment in our fight just against the climate change. Thank you very much once again for the wonderful presentation. Yes, this is the kind of end of the opening ceremony. The climate crisis is a challenge we all face together, and today we take another meaningful step forward. It is our hope that this expo will become a strong platform for real solutions and closer global cooperation, and your support and active participation are what truly move the climate industry and forward, and we look forward to your whole effort. Thank you very much once again for joining us today. So now we'll conclude all the programs that we have prepared for this opening ceremony for 2025 World Climate Industry Expo, and our distinguished guests registered in advance for the Global Energy Roundtable, which will take place at 205 room. Would you please make your way to the venue for the Global Energy Roundtable, room 205. Thank you very much once again. 저희 그 에너지 라운드 테이블에 함께 하실 귀빈 여러분들 먼저 이동하실 수 있도록 한국인 참가자 여러분께서는 잠시 자리에 앉아주시면 감사드리겠습니다. 진심으로 양해해 주셔서 고맙습니다. 먼저 귀빈 여러분들 이동하실 수 있도록 함께 해주시면 감사드리겠습니다. Once again to our distinguished guests and all our participants from home and abroad, thank you so much for joining us today to the very end of all programs of today's opening ceremony. 끝까지 함께 해주신 여러분께 진심으로 감사드리면서 마무리 짓겠습니다. 감사합니다.